everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Girls Run These Worlds and our run of our Dragon Age game, All Templars or Bastards. This name lets you know the kind of game that you are in for. I hope you're all well this fine Sunday. We are here and we're ready to tell a wonderful story together. Just before we do our intros, I just wanted to do a little disclaimer and a kind of content warning, I guess, for the series before introducing myself as well. I am Emma, or Homily on the internet. I am the game master or storyteller for this game today. And I figure that some of us know that the world in which this game is set is one that is known to many. It is a world where there are a great many injustices and wrongs that need fought against. As such, there are topics that will come up which include oppression, fantasy racism, prejudices against mages, imbalances of power, which can often become violent. We recognize that in telling the story of oppression and genocide against groups of people does reflect the many tragic atrocities that are occurring across our world as we speak right now. While we feel that there are stories of this type of fight against oppressive rule are important to tell, the health and happiness of our viewers are also crucial. As such, it's important that you all know that the content of this story that we will be telling here, so that you have the agency to choose whether or not you want to watch along with us as we tell the story against a fight against such powers. But equally, you can turn off the story should you need to in order to preserve your own comfort. The group and I have discussed at great length our lines and veils when approaching this content, and active use of safety tools will be being used. We would urge that you also take care of your own comfort levels. That being said, let us now tell us a story of hope in dire times and of the fight for justice. Joining me are some fine players. We are missing one of our players, Ella. So hopefully she will be here with us and fighting fit for next week. But for the rest of us, if we could please introduce ourselves to the audience.
Yay! Very excited. Hello, everyone. My name is Torin. My pronouns are she, they. As far as the character I'm playing today, her name is Genevieve Devereaux, and her pronouns are she, her. And as far as just what I do, I'm voice actor and digital artist, and I am so excited to be here. I am a huge Dragon Age nerd, and I can't contain myself. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Val. Today I bring Theowin, who is a very, very anxious elf mage who never made it to a circle, despite being, on the way there. And a little content warning is that my character is always constantly nervous about being possessed. So if that is something that you are worried about and a little bit triggering, please keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, my name is Alice, they them pronouns. Today I will be playing Flor Aeneas. Flor, they them pronouns is from a Tvinter Laden family. They're a mage that has been on their own personal journey and deconstructing the worst of their childhood and figuring out what it means to be a mage in this greater world.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm going to be playing Aviana Bryland. She is a human noble that was able to stay under the radar as a mage for a while until the Battle of Denerim, where she was found out, taken to a circle. But now, after escaping, she's been trying to delve more into magic that helps sustain her body. She has a disability that causes her bones to break very easily. So if that is something that you are not comfortable watching, preserve your mental health. But this is going to be a little disability story. I'm a disability advocate and a voice actor. But that's all I've got. We'll find out the other stuff later.
Yeah. Excellent. So yes, we are here today with our group, who are members of an organization called the Choir of the Silenced. And now for a little introduction to our story. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Welcome, everyone, to the land of Thedas. The year is 940 in the Dragon Age. Roll credits. It has been 10 years since the first blight plagued the lands of Ferelden, a country which also was plunged into a civil war. Eventually, the Grey Wardens, the Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the mages of the Ferelden Circle fought back against the blight, ending it with the defeat of the Archdemon. It has been 3 years since the mage Anders, who could no longer take the mistreatment of the mages, destroyed the Kirkwall Circle, sparking what would be called the Kirkwall Rebellion. In retaliation, Knight Captain Meredith of the Templar Order called for the right of annulment on the Circle, for them to kill all mages, before being defeated by Hawk, champion of the city. Defeated? ? It has also been 3 years since the appointment of Grand Enchanter Fiona, who then attempted to call a vote for the Circle of Magi to separate from the Chantry, failing to have that order pass. It has been 2 years since the Templars abandoned the College of Enchanters. A new conclave was also ordered on behalf of Divine Justinian V to investigate the abuse of the right of tranquility and the attempt to broker peace. It has been 1 year since a certain Dreadwolf awoke from centuries-long slumber. The right and left hand of the Divine, Cassandra Pentagast and Liliana, went off in search of help, hoping to reform the Inquisition of old, and run into someone named Varric Tethris in their search. Hoping to reform... Lord Seeker Lambert labels the conclave as treason. Grand Enchanter Fiona is captured, along with several other mages, who are later freed, and at Andorel's Reach, Fiona calls for another vote of separation from the Chantry. The mages agree. The Mage-Templar conflict begins in earnest. Our story begins, not days after the Navaran Court has been nullified. The Templars and Seekers of Truth no longer answer to the Chantry. They will self-govern and handle the rebel mages how they see fit. We focus now not on the large-scale turmoil of the lands that Thedas are suffering, but instead pan our view into a small group of people from all walks of life who have come together under one mission statement. What happens when the righteous become the corrupt and the wicked? Who then becomes the champions of the just? The Choir of the Silence have themselves a safe house, of a sort, and we will visit some of the members of this rebellious group. We will be starting with a small scene, our camera panning in to Genevieve. Can you please describe where you are and who we see in this scene?
Yes. So Genevieve is about 5'5", fairly average height, darker skin, golden brown hair, brown eyes, dark brown eyes. And she's fairly pretty. You know, she has sweeping hair in the front coming down, some braids around, definitely Orlesian as far as just the jewelry that she does wear is plain, but it is gold. There's some shinies on her. And at the current moment, she's standing in her small room, table in front with the bow laid out that she uses. It's ornate, but old. A lot of the things that she has is old, especially the leather armor that's hanging up that are relics from her family. In the state that they're in, they're clean, but they're old, they're broken, they're tattered. The gold lion that's on the front of the leather armor it doesn't tarnish because it's gold, but there's definitely some pieces missing out of it. So she probably hasn't been back to her lay in a long time. But currently she's in her plain but immaculately kept room.
And what would you say she might be in the middle of doing right now while she is in the room?
It's definitely morning ritual time. So, you know, the hair's down. She's just trying to brush it out, get the rest that she can braid and crown around. And in the small mirror, looking at the little crow's feet that have started for a while. She's definitely a little bit older. I'd say closer to 40, probably mid-30s. Yeah. But don't say anything about it. I can't believe that you comment on it. So
We
she is
love that
kidding.
for her. Mhm. Love that
But
for
yes,
her.
she
Yeah.
definitely prone to grandiosity, but not naive enough to fall into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
An
So
old
she's
habit.
getting ready. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're able to get yourself ready for the day. And currently it is a moment of quiet and calm. There's not necessarily anything pressing that you or certainly your group have had to tackle for the time being. There's obviously some tension in the air. The news of the Navarre Accord being torn asunder has definitely reached the ears of everybody here. It is something to be concerned about, especially considering the makeup of the rest of your group.
Yeah. I think with that, she is getting ready, but wants to take their time to get ready. But she is anxious to hear about any news that has happened since she has been asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So she would go to find her confidant, Escalin.
Okay. So you're able to head out, and it's a fairly pleasant day. It's just as we're coming out of winter, and there's the promise of things warming a little. There's certainly buds on trees, even if they have not yet opened just yet. Days are a little fresher. We're not quite in the grip of a winter anymore. You're able to head out to go and find your confidant. You know that Ascan is often training or eating are kind of his two main go-tos for when not currently on a mission. So if not in one, you can be pretty sure he's going to be doing the other. Listen, big grown man, you know, he's got to eat his calories. Yeah. And sure enough, if you head towards the training grounds, of which it is slightly sheltered, but there is open air here, he is likely doing a spot of archery. What we see as you're approaching Ascan is a fairly tall, although has a leaner build for a canary, which is still pretty built, if we're being honest with ourselves. This tall, broad-shouldered man with hair just long enough to be in the smallest of little ponytails at the back. He has large, scooped and curved horns on his head that rise up in really quite sharp, pronounced peaks at the top. Not every canary can boast the same. It would be sore to be rammed by this guy by the head. Growing out his facial hair as he often does. He thinks it makes him look dashing.
If he hasn't noticed me yet, I think I'm going to take my bow and try to hit one of the arrows that he's shooting.
I would say, given that you are quite the stealthy individual, you are certainly able to creep up. I will have you roll a stealth roll just to be sure. Fumbles can happen.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. I'm going to learn Roll20 real quick.
Yeah.
That's the best way to roll this.
That's fine. So when you have your character sheet open, you will see that you have your regular stats. And for things that you have a focus on, you get to click on that name of the word, and that will roll it for you.
So
if you do not have a focus, then you're just rolling dexterity.
Okay. And I can click dexterity here.
Yep. You click the word dexterity, and it should just roll for you.
Please don't be bad.
That's incredibly good.
Yeah,
Not only is it incredibly
not
good, but you stunted. So you rolled an 18, which for this game system, we roll 3d6s, and 11 is like a comfortable, like you've passed the basic kind of acts. As you increase in number, it is a increasingly good pass. By 18, we're looking at like legendary numbers. So yeah, you have cleared it and then some with 5 stunts. Yeah, he has no idea that you're there. In the slightest. You're now able to shoot with your longbow. You can roll to attack. You're not necessarily beating a DC here, but just to see if you get a crack shot.
Yeah, let's see. So I believe it's this one. We'll find out if I click the right die.
Yeah.
using the aim action.
You can aim. Yep. 12. That's still good. All right.
Yeah,
So you.
that's not bad.
Yeah, I would say that as you're shooting, while it doesn't necessarily knock his arrow out of the way or do some Robin Hood like splitting the arrow down the middle level of shenanigans, just as his arrow is hitting, yours will hit as well, and it will startle him. And he makes a noise that is perhaps higher pitched than you would expect from a canary, as he gets a bit of a fright.
So easily scared. How are you an archer, Askaran? And I'll come up and flick his ponytail.
You okay, listen, you can't just sneak up on people like that when they're holding weapons, Genevieve.
Clearly I can. I did it.
All right. I mean, you have me there.
And how are you today?
I'm okay. Enjoying the fresh air. It's certainly very fresh this morning.
You just got the big gulp of it. Just a healthy intake.
Okay. Listen, I did not ask to be mocked this morning.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. Honestly, I have to dream about Emil, my younger brother, as usual, but I'm okay.
The bad kind.
No, it was sweet. He was trying to teach me how to do magic because clearly I can do that. And I was
Well,
trying
apparently
to
so. I mean, you just snuck up here like complete silence. Is that not magic?
Not according to him.
Yeah.
But what did happen to the night? Any other bad news?
Well, I think people definitely seem unsettled. These are troubling times. I mean, I definitely worry for the members among us who are potentially at risk with this shift in governance with the Templars.
Yes. It's not good. I worry about chains of revenge. Being the only not mage. I admit I feel a little responsible for them. Just a little. I know they can handle themselves, but you know. Anyway. Any news from Frauden circles? I haven't heard anything about Emil. I know it's been years, and I know not to get my hopes up about it, but you know. Anything?
Not that I've heard. I think there's speculation about what is going to happen to each of the circles now that this has happened. I mean, all of the Templars. Well, I'm not sure what's going to happen to them, but I think we all know the worst of the fates.
Yeah.
Maybe you could send out a raven and try to get word about that one in particular.
Oui. First, though, let's teach you how to actually shoot.
Okay. I can shoot. I just don't notice when people creep up with like eerie amounts of silence.
So Julie didn't jingle. You didn't hear the gold. No.
Maybe I was just really lost in the sauce of how good I am at archery.
Okay. Yes. If you get shot in the field, it's your fault.
Okay. Look, you're good at what you do, and I'm glad for it because you're on our side, okay? I'm glad I don't have to be somebody you're going to sneak up on like that and slit the throat of.
Never. No. I think
I'm gonna like... You'd have a hard time. Sorry.
Yes, we just like pat his shoulder a little bit. I think I'd probably spend a little bit just trying to shoot, get warmed up, you know, in case anything bad happens. But then after that, try to one of two things. One, see if there's anyone who has heard any news about the Ferelden Circle, anything of the mages there. And two, I think she would spend, or at least she has been spending most of her time trying to find some of the nobility, or at least people who kind of bought their way to nobility in Kirkwall, as that tends to happen, just to see who can they strike next, who has some connection to Lyrium, anything like that.
Okay. Yeah. You can definitely go and do a little bit of looking into that. I'm actually going to ask for an investigation roll
Sure.
with this. Just in terms of, I imagine that there may have been attempts made where you've sent ravens out. You can go and check to see if anything has come back, and then just try to piece through everything that has come back to you. You do have contacts that are throughout Thedas, more so in your immediate area, and also you've probably built quite a few in Ferelden, especially with it being a area of focus for you.
Yeah, and I think she would also try to use just like, oh, I'm trying to get back to Ole and get to the family, royalty we were before, that kind of stuff. So do you want me to roll investigation specifically?
Investigation for the picking through the information, yeah.
Oh,
Roll
20
so,
likes me today.
Yeah,
that never happens. Oh, thank you.
Gosh, yeah. I would imagine what you find is that you'll get back information from some of your contacts that allude to the fact that there is some chaos spreading. We are perhaps just days, maybe a week or so after the news of the Navarran Accord, so it has not necessarily ingrained itself in long enough for you to see the full effects of these circle turrets crumbling, and people fleeing, and this surge of apostates escaping. But what you do get back is that it certainly seems like it is going that way. There have been sightings of groups of mages, and the fact that there has been groups of mages suggests that something clearly has happened. There are a couple areas, including Ferelden, where it's like there's almost radio silence in terms of, well, what's a radio? Total silence of in terms of like official news. So the people who are getting back to you are the ones who like have proper ears to the ground. What it seems is that the circle has likely fallen. And if that is the case, then there are a couple of fates that lay ahead of your brother. It could be that he's part of a group who are kind of going along with it and behaving themselves. It could be that he is one of the ones who's fled. It could be that he's one of the ones that perished during the uprisings. You're not sure which is going to be the case for him.
Okay.
It's troubling, though.
Yeah. And I think if Ascaron came with her, he would see that like on her face a little bit. Any news of any Kirkwall nobility? Anyone get any shipments that I should go become friends with?
Yeah, I would say there's Kirkwall at this point is very much reeling from what it experienced a couple of years ago. It hasn't really been the most stable of places, despite attempts to try and rein things in after all that occurred and the explosion of the Chantry. Nobility try to smooth things as best as they could. In terms of shipments, I imagine by this point trade is now starting to become a bit more active, so you could always go and investigate at the docks, should you want to take a little time to do so, just to see what is moving. But things are certainly starting to move again. It's one of the best ways to rebuild, is to start bringing money back in. And
Yeah, and especially if any Orlesians are kind of helping with that, I would try to keep an eye out for. So I do have heraldry, so definitely keeping
Sure.
a mark of who brings shipments in, any kind of flags, any kind of family crest I see,
Yeah.
to bring information back.
Okay. Yeah, you can head out. A scan will offer to come so that you're not on your own, just in case anything bad happens. Which you're welcome to
Yeah.
turn down if you feel like you'll be able to sneak around a little easier without him, but
No,
you're
I think
you're
you would be a good cover. I can hide behind you, you big lug. Like throw him
enough
in front
people in
of you.
Kirkwall are still a little twitchy around the Canary that, like, if anyone looks at you the wrong way, he can just scowl and they will run off. That is totally fine. Yeah, if you want to roll her heraldry and just see what comes up.
Oh, roll 20, please be kind to me like you have been, you wonderful creature. 13, I think. You're muted to me? Ascalan, you're so quiet. You're never this quiet.
I'm just practicing, I'm trying to be like, step up my game to be as silent as you are. Okay. Okay, so 13 with 2 stunts, and you're looking for any Orlesians that are doing trade in and out of.
Yeah, any flags I can notice to bring
Mm.
back information, and then if I know anything about them from when I was a noble.
Okay. I need to check one thing real quick.
It's okay. I just want you to get all your notes and tell me every bit of lore.
Well, buckle in. No, I have 2 I was gonna give you, but I just wanted to see if there's.
Oh yeah, check them. And I think along the way while we're walking, she's going to just play up the whole, I am Orlesian nobility, and try to like hold his arm and oh, I'm so pretty. Look at my hair flick in the wind. I have to say, just this is the like prettiest character I've ever made, and it's gonna be weird. Don't know how I feel about it yet.
When do you? Here we go. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna give you a couple things, but I need you to roll me perception. It would be hearing if you had a focus. If you don't have the focus, it's just perception.
I have searching and empathy. But I think searching isn't searching more like pathing.
It's like searching is looking for lost things, as like hearing is its own focus. So
yeah, okay. Then
if you just
perception.
roll me perception, because it's very much a hard
15.
thing. Not terrible. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was absurd. Oh god.
So there's 2 surnames of people that that are traded. You recognize 2 things. It's Beaufort and Laurent. I can type those in. Where should I put them? Let's put them here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
First one, but definitely the second one, please.
Yeah. So we have Beaufort and Laurent. 2 separate names there. So you do notice their heraldry, and it
Do I know
seems to
what?
be.
Oh, sorry.
They're definitely families that are connected to mercantile things. One in particular, is like silks and fabrics as opposed to anything else.
Gotcha.
The other one, there's like a company that comes under their name, and so they'll fly the banner, but it's mostly they'll just trade in anything, and they use the name and the logo to get a few more sales. What you do hear, however, is a couple of dock workers who are gossiping about Empress Celine being missing is perhaps the wrong word, but she's not been at her social engagements and nobody knows where she is.
That is odd.
Very odd.
So legions
Social, social, yeah. You're
like
like,
around, if you will.
and to be missing social engagements as the Empress is
That's his death.
very suspect. Yeah. They're like talking about rumors of like maybe she's been captured, maybe it's like, she's been held for ransom or what and like it starts off like general thing, but as the more that they get into like the conspiracy theory of what might actually be going on, it just turns into like typical Legion scandal talk, like it gets more and
maybe
more
her mask ate her face and she's got horrible scars.
Yep, exactly. So, and then a third one will be like, well, I heard that they saw her in like so and so's gardens, but maybe it was just somebody wearing her mask. Because in LA, that if you wear the mask of a person, you have to be presumed to be that person. So they're like, it's not really her; it's just decoys, and there's gossip to that regard. It seems.
Okay, there's definitely like I wouldn't say an exhalation, like not exhalation, excitability to it, because it's kind of like, oh, home,
Yeah,
I use this, and there's also kind of a wariness to her. I'm just like, oh, okay, they could at least get something right, or make it very interesting to listen to. And I will journey around with a scar and just kind of pick up information like that to see if I can give a target to the group to either get money from or goods from.
Yeah. So you can be doing your usual information gathering to feed back to the organization for sure. Yeah. He's gonna stop off at a couple places to get some street food. Gets hungry when you're walking.
As opposed to gay food? I don't. Sorry.
So make she'll just be like, your armor won't fit if you keep doing this.
I have buckles. Listen, this.
Oh, it is very fancy.
I burn off a lot of calories.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds crude.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're right. It is crude. That's what's fun about it.
Definitely hits him.
He's like, joke's on you. I like that. He says as he eats more.
I keep forgetting that. Can't always give you what you want.
Very but yes, you're able to eventually you will wind your way back again up to the safe house. How far away would you say your safe house is from the docks?
I would say probably honestly, probably a good bit away, but there's definitely like, especially now with chaos going on, caverns and low town type of underground that they can get through.
So you may have a means. Are we in low town, do you think, or somewhere on the sort of border between high and low town?
I think we'd be on the border, because especially with the docks being able to get to low town, probably would utilize those kind of passages.
Yeah. Maybe one of those convenient drain pipes somewhere that leads you down into Dark Town. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go under here and magically.
Oh no! How did we get here? Oh, it's not bio. Okay. Oh
no. Very good. Okay. So as you kind of come back in, a little bit of laughter from you and a scan, and we are going to pan our camera away from you. We'll go through a couple of rooms, seeing other members. Some having discussions, some doing their own bit of training, one reading, one is definitely napping when they shouldn't be. But we will pan ourselves in to the mess hall. Well, as we pan into Theowin, what does this room look like? What is going on here? And who do we see sitting in the mess hall?
So kind of like not as far away from other people as possible, because man, if she gets possessed right now where everyone is eating, that would suck. But so Theowin is an an elf girl,
Mhm.
and she is sitting, not like in the corner, just like at one of the tables that is less crowded, probably like by herself, sort of thing. And she is fairly young, probably not even 20 yet. She is of age, but around 19 years old.
Mhm.
She has short, dark hair. It's not like a glossy black. It's more of like that warm chocolate color.
Mhm.
She's got these very young, big, wide amber eyes. As she is flipping, she doesn't have like a meal in front of her, but she's got like stuff, and she's flipping through this small book, and she's like, I don't understand what this means. She just looks around. How can sugar be powder? The camera kind of zooms out as she has like like lemons and dough and stuff, because she is planning on making some sort of like lemon dessert, but
Mhm.
has never, growing up in the Kirkwood circle, the idea of powdered sugar is foreign to her. Like,
Mhm. All right. Yeah. Very good. As you're doing that, I would say you may hear a chuckle from beside you as a plate of food and a drink clatter down beside where you are.
immediately, just like almost like a cat that got startled. It's like, oh god.
Uh-huh. And
Oh,
then
hi,
sitting down next to you is your dear also young friend Craig.
Craig.
Yeah.
Just this
Not that
guy,
that's how you
Craig.
say it, but yeah. He kind of like comes in and sits down and glances over at you, and you'd be like, "You never heard of powdered sugar before? It's the best."
Uh, how does it become powder?
You
Like,
like
is it like, normally it's brown and granulated and almost like crystals. Like, how do you get something so, and why would you powder it?
I think it's a mortar, mortal, mortar pestle. Yeah,
Do,
something
do,
along those lines. It's a thing that
so,
you grind stuff with, you know?
okay. Um, okay. So I have to, and she just like holds up a bag of sugar. She goes, I have to ground this myself to make lemon
Man,
squares.
manual labor. Yeah, yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can buy it already ground up by
Don't
somebody
make
who's
fun
just.
of me. I just don't understand. Don't make fun of me. I just don't
As
understand why you would do extra labor.
you, you
Like,
know, my sarcasm is just a little stronger in the morning. I'm sorry, I haven't eaten yet.
well, take it somewhere else. I don't need your sarcasm while I'm trying to make lemon squares.
Would it help if I went to the market to see if somebody has already powdered some sugar for you?
Okay, sure. I'm not going to the market, so I'm not asking you to go to the market for me. You
I
don't need to go to the market for me. I can mortar sugar if I can with the stone if I need to.
yeah, you're like
But I mean, if
strong
you're
and
gonna go
free
to
and
the market
independent. No, you.
anyway,
I sure. Yep, I was
if
definitely
you're
going
gonna
there
be there,
anyway.
if you could be there anyway, that'd be really nice.
Yeah,
Um, I maybe someone else needs powdered sugar and we can split it. I
sure.
just, I don't
It's really nice if you like dust it on top of like pastries and things. That's how
know.
I've
What
had
do
it.
you think I'm trying to make here?
Well, I don't know. Lemons, squares. Oh, like baked goods, lemons, right? Okay, yeah.
What else did you think it was?
I
Like,
don't know.
what
I
what
didn't
are
want to
lemon
ask.
squares in Starkhaven? Like, I mean, I've
Eh,
never actually. I mean, I've only seen lemon squares, before. I've never actually tasted them myself, but I was just in the library and I saw like these cookbooks of famous desserts in season. And I was like, well, lemons are in season. Can we make lemon desserts? And I looked through it and I was like, wow, there's even an illustration. And I hold up the book to him and it's like,
Oh.
isn't it? Yep. They used watercolors and everything on it, and I was like, you know what, I could do this. I could make these lemon squares. I could do something with my hands. I've
Mhm.
never baked anything before in my life, but I can do this.
Is this beginner entry level baking? I don't know. I feel like some of them are harder than others. I have never baked either, so
But okay, but some of this easier stuff, like it's the end of winter. Only citrus is really in season, and I can't find oranges anywhere. Grapefruit's disgusting,
it's like the
and
worst kind.
but like lemons, everyone has lemons.
Okay. Well, I will go and get you some powdered sugar. And you can try and make some lemon squares.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Craig. Are
yeah,
you gonna go
great.
by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Just
be
be
fine. I mean,
careful.
you can come if you want.
No.
Okay.
There's
Maybe if you
so
send it
many
like the okay.
there's so many people out
Yep.
there
Yeah.
just walking around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think I fit into any of the categories that would normally find themselves in trouble in the marketplace of
It's
Hi
not you
Everett.
I'm worried
So
about.
I think
It's me.
oh
It's me. I just
right.
can't.
It's just you asked if I was going on my own and I'm just assuring you that I will be okay.
Mhm.
I've done it
Yep.
before.
Yep. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be
Yep.
fine.
It's
Mhm.
you know,
It's what's really good. It's that it's sort of the last thing, so I don't need the powdered sugar to start. And if you can't find any, it'll be fine. I'm sure you can have it without powdered sugar.
I can just try and like mort it up. I don't know what the doing word for that would be. I can grind it up. Grind it up. Grind it makes sense. Why wouldn't I think of that? Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna go and get some powdered sugar.
Thanks, Craig.
Yep. It's Craig. He'll say as he
That's
stands
what
up.
I said.
Yeah.
Am I saying it wrong? Is it like Pinay? I don't
And
understand.
he stands up, and you can see that he's definitely been going through a growth spurt recently. He too is
Mhm.
kind of in that late teens. He's getting ganglier than he was a couple of years ago. Has a shock of dark head that he's growing in because it was short and tight. As you know, he when he first met you was like a brand shiny new trying to be Templar recruit. And
Mhm.
then both you and he saw the explosion of the Chantry in Kirkwall and went, nope,
No, I
it's
don't
gonna
like
go over
that.
here.
That sounds
So
awful. And
yeah,
you know what? That was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
yeah. So you fled,
And his
and so
too.
did he, and now you're both like definitely living very different lives right now. And
Mhm.
he is figuring out how to function as an independent adult.
Same,
So he goes,
honestly.
yeah. And he goes scampering off towards the market, leaving you now on your own. There's maybe like a couple people who are here just kind of eating their breakfast before heading off. A few of them will kind of like wave at you as they pass.
It's just a slight little like wave back, like super, like she's just making herself as small as possible. Just like after, Craig goes away, she's
Mhm.
just like, like when you have like your hands kind of like in between in your lap, like in between, like your shoulders are a little scrunched. She's just
Mhm.
like looking around and is like, okay, so I can. Oh, I never asked if I could even use the kitchen.
Mhm. You're welcome to go and try to
Yep, I'm gonna
see if you can use it. Describe to us what this kitchen looks like as we flesh out our home base here.
I imagine that like most people have had their breakfast already. So the few kitchen workers are wrapping up and sort of cleaning up and probably even like getting ready for maybe for like a lunch whenever comes around. But there's just, she just sort of like she's got like this giant wooden mixing bowl that she's put everything in, that she's sort of like gathered herself, either like, from just asked around if there's flowers and lemons and things like that. And she found everything except the powdered sugar, and she just has this bowl and she just kind of peeks in. Hi.
I would say currently in the kitchen, let's say Ep1 is there. He's average height for a male elf, which is shorter than a lot of other people that are here. But probably about of a height with you. He has warm tan skin and some Vaseline on his face. And his hair is pulled into like a long braided ponytail down the side. He's got like beach vibes, but as a Dalish elf. If one can picture that.
He's Australian.
Yeah. An Australian Dalish elf. I'm not doing the accent, but he is a Dalish elf. Has these very piercing blue eyes, which kind of stand out given that everything else about him is very sort of like warm, natural tones. But he is standing there in a vest that is very much showing more chest than he really has any right to. But you know what? They're indoors right now. Are we just coming out of winter? Don't tell him. He is living on beach right now.
He's in the kitchen. It's warm in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's cooking. He'll be in the middle of making let's say he's cooking up some bacon for some bacon rolls for him and whoever else is kind of feeling that.
Shirt?
Yeah. You can't tell him nothing. The power of himbo keeps him safe from bacon pat.
Sorry, that's not safe. Your nipples will burn.
I have a vest on, thanks. I'm good. But the nips are covered.
Okay. You know what? If you want to have grease on your body, that is all. That is your priority.
It's okay. I just have to stand a bit further back from the frying pan. We're all good. Like the bacon's just cooking away itself. What are you making? And he'll kind of like scamper over to you, completely disregarding what you were talking about.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm trying to see if there's room in here for me to make lemon squares.
Yep, because they go in the oven, not in the frying pan, so you've got plenty of room.
Well,
I can turn it on for you if you want. We just heat up I can get the fire going.
I was actually could you save the grease from that bacon?
Yeah.
It'd be much easier than finding lard, I think, for the pie crust.
Ah, yeah. Will it make the pie crust taste of bacon? Maybe
Is that
not.
bad?
No. Well, listen. Anything that tastes like bacon is a good time. Don't matter what it is.
Okay. If you say so.
I'll save it for you. Don't worry.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. You need help with anything else? I can get the oven.
No, I'll just wait for the animal fat. All right. She just stands there with the bowl.
You got any plans for today? He goes and flips some bacon, kind of like expertly dodging anytime that it spits.
Well, there's the science experiment I'm performing today.
Oh.
And
what you
she just
experimenting on? Oh,
well, cooking is just chemistry. That's what my mother used to say.
Chemistry. That's not something I
don't
it's
either.
Not very common with the Dalish clans who like science experiments, but
I'm just quoting my mom. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sure she was a very smart lady.
Yeah, she was. She is. She's alive.
She is.
Like, my mom's fine.
Nice.
Please don't say was. That's very.
Well, like,
something
because
happened to her.
maybe it's something that she's currently actively saying to you. Sorry, fishes the bacon out onto a plate, sets the pan aside for you, and then like thinks and then goes and like picks out any little remaining bacon bits out of it. And we'll get the
Are
oven
you
cooked
eating
up.
anything else with the bacon, or are you just
I'm just
putting
putting
that
it inside some bread.
bacon sandwich?
Yeah. It's tasty. Get my
Is that all
protein
that
up.
you're gonna have? Is just bread and bacon? No.
Well, this is technically my second. I had something a little earlier, had some porridge, and then now this is like later in the
So,
morning breakfast.
There's no vegetables in there.
No, well, I'll save that for my other. I'm not sure what kind of vegetable I'd put in with bacon. What would you put in with bacon?
Potatoes?
Potato in a
No.
sandwich?
Lettuce. You could put lettuce and
Lettuce.
a fresh slice of tomato.
Okay. Fresh. Okay. Yeah. Tomato. Got it. Do we have any? And he'll just like wander off to the pantry.
I like immediately take over that spot as soon as he leaves.
Yeah.
I have kept like a 5-foot distance from this person the whole time. This man. And it's just like
You're a
immediately
social
moving.
distancing
It's
champion.
yeah, immediately it's like I'm contagious. Not really. I'm like just going through and it's just like frantically getting set up. Has no idea. It's literally like she's just that's a lot of people. It's a lot of boys talking to her in like the span of 20 minutes. Oh man, okay. Just like, oh well, the bacon grease is okay. Does it need to be hot or cold when I mix it into the dough? She like looks through the book. It doesn't say.
I would like for you to roll me a cunning roll.
Can I actually argue research for this?
Research, sure. I will accept that bartering. Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah,
Research.
it just makes sense that this is research. Where is my? Here we go. That's a 13.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of you figure that like using it while it's still warm and pliable rather than when it gets like chunky with your flour, it might be better to use it while it's a little warm, sure.
Okay, and she's like, perfect. And she just starts and she's like, oh my god, that is so hot. And like and it's like, do you wear gloves when you make dough?
Yep.
She's trying very hard.
It is a very good first attempt because like baking on your first go around with no guidance and nobody to tell you exactly what you're doing. That's a hard.
Just a book she found in the library, which she only recently learned how to read. Like she, so sometimes things get. She's a very fast learner. It was just the accessibility of materials have always been a little rough for her living in the alien age. But she's like, I got this. I'm good. I know how to say lemon now and spell it
and like what the most ingredient in cooking is love, so like you're putting plenty of that in, so surely it'll turn out good.
Is that what this emotion I'm feeling is? I don't know.
Yep. So you make a very good effort. Eventually, kind of coming in, and it seems that Craig has managed to figure out that he needs to cough a little when he's on the approach to you, much like a cat with a bell, to let you know that he's a pet there. So he will be coming in and clear his throat.
Is guy still in there too?
Yeah, he went in to get some tomato, and will eventually have come out. He apparently got himself distracted and was like got something else, and then was like tomato, and goes back in and gets a tomato and slices that up. Okay. So he's making a sandwich and
right, and I just put the dough to the side. I was like, okay, I did that. Great. Craig, hi.
How's it going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to bake either, so it's at the very least going to be better than what I could do.
Okay. I don't know if and she just points to, she doesn't know his name. He's just this
It's Ep1.
shirtless man at this point.
Yeah.
What?
My Scottish sounding but Aussie acting.
Yeah.
Sure.
This I just need to do something with these lemons now. She's like,
It
this
will
is gonna
walk
take.
past while he's like mouth is like already half full of bacon sandwich with some tomato. But he didn't put it in a sandwich, he put it on the side. He has his reasons. He can tell you if you need to know.
Okay.
And just kind of goes, just squeeze him. Cut him and squeeze him. Get the juice out. Unless you want to get real fancy, because I saw someone in here who like actually properly cooks, and they were like
You're
great
saying
in
that
the
I don't
skin.
properly cook. How do
No,
you
I mean
what's
like people who like that is part of their repertoire of skills. That's the right word, right? Yeah, they've got skills and they know how to cook, and they like grated at the skin as well, like the peel to put in. Personally, I don't like. I find it very bitter, but they swore by it, so maybe do a bit of that.
Okay.
Okay.
And she doesn't even slice open the lemon. She just like starts to squeeze it
Yeah.
as it is into the bowl, like with the peel on it and everything. Like, okay,
Yeah.
squeeze.
Ewan is out at this point, and Craig is just being very supportive and nodding. Do you want any help with that? I have actual powdered sugar. Look, they have a little bag of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to squeeze lemons with me?
Yeah, I think I'd be quite good at it.
Why would anyone make bacon with no shirt? I don't understand. It's cold outside. Actually, she just like she has like a little almost like a shawl type of scarf, and she's like, actually, I'm kind of warm now that I think about it, but I can't. I'm not gonna let my nipples be out. That's terrible.
Yep.
Sorry, sorry.
That's just very good health and safety, and you're just being very responsible, and that's good.
Do you think he has like reflective powers to where he can just
maybe this like a thing that the Dalish can do?
Or maybe he's just always constantly sweating that the oil doesn't stick to his skin because water and grease doesn't mix.
Yep, maybe that's what it is. Or like we can just say health and safety, everyone needs to cover up. Just be covered up.
But he wasn't. That's the point I'm trying to make.
He should. No, he should. We could
That's right.
Put a sign up. I can make a sign. Do you want me to make? I could make you a sign.
It's not my kitchen. I don't think I have the authority to tell people to dress their nipples. I don't.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna
You're doing great. That looks like amazing dough. That looks really great. I bet that's gonna bake like a charm.
Yeah. Does it? How is this dough?
It's okay.
She's following the directions
pretty much mixed up. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. And to be honest with you, bake is probably gonna be one of those things where you're like, it's actually edible and quite tasty. Maybe it just doesn't like fully cook all the way through, but there's something nice about that sort of stodgy. Yeah, you're fine. Is stodgy a word that you guys use? Sometimes I use a word and I'm like, is that just a really Scottish word?
That's a very Scottish word.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very
stodgy.
Scottish,
I would like to think that it is emotive enough that you understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But it's a Starkhaven word. Sorry. It might just be a little
like outside. How was town? Did you see any did you see the ocean? Did you see any were there any dogs outside?
I couldn't see the ocean. There were a few animals. Yeah, I saw like 2 strays. They were really cute. Definitely didn't get distracted by them. It's nice. It's a little cold out, but it's dry. One of those bright spring days. I couldn't really see the sea. I didn't think to look for the sea though. I was pretty focused on powdered sugar.
You really, that was like your main focus, going outside? You just beelined to get sugar? Like, did you only go to town to get sugar? Did you do nothing else? Did you only go to town to get sugar? That's not
I
okay.
also saw stray dogs.
Yeah, but you don't do that on purpose. That's just part of the joy of being outside in public. Is people have their dogs and they're just there. Or the
It's great.
strays.
It's like having a pet for a little while because you get the joy of petting it without having to pick up its poo. I figured you would need the sugar before you were done cooking, and if I got too busy doing all of the other things I'm definitely busy with, you may not have had your sugar in time.
So you just did that just for me.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. And I flick some flour on him.
Oh. I would do it back, but I don't know if that's would it upset you if I
Well, I'm just
anyway.
I'll let you know when this is done.
Okay.
Bye.
He just turns around and like scampers off somewhere to definitely.
I imagine that the himbo is just like eating his sandwich and watching this entire thing, like
yeah,
just completely amused.
Yeah, it's just to be like, boy, you need to learn some Riz. What? Hi. Oh, I'm just eating. It's fine, you just you
stop staring. It just goes into like attempting this. And I just want to make a final roll, if that's cool, to like figure out how the whole thing just sort of comes out.
Please do.
Okay. Just to make things, and then whoever eats these throughout the day, like, we'll figure it out, because she'll just leave them out whether they're good or not. Yep. All right, what shall I roll?
This is definitely we'll call this one cunning.
Gotcha.
Straight cunning. There's no baking focus, sadly. Oh,
there's no baking focus. Oh no, I rolled a total of a 9, but I did get a stunt points of 2.
And those stunts would have done you so well if you'd succeeded.
These things, it just curdles. It doesn't.
It really did its best, and like the edges tried really hard to like rise a bit, but then burn a bit. But the inside isn't really cooked. So it's certainly something, but the whole place smells like lemons and baking, so it smells good.
It smells very good. It just throws it all away. It just throws it away.
You hear a yelp from our himbo Ep1, who is on his 3rd bacon roll. He's finishing off the last one. As the thing kind of clatters across the room. Whoa! What are you doing? Is there ghosts?
What? Are there ghosts?
I don't know. What are you throwing at?
Don't. I can't be around spirits. Don't do that.
I didn't mean spirit. I just meant, because you threw it at, and I didn't think there was anything there, so I'm assuming there was something you were. Oh, okay. I hope there isn't. Is there spirits?
Oh no. I'm gonna go take a nap now.
Okay. Oh, are you done with that? Oh, is that what that's what that okay. Hey, listen, a failure is just a step towards success. You just have to try again and learn from your mistakes.
he did get a lot of powdered sugar. Like, I didn't need this much powdered sugar, so I'm clearly gonna have to, yes, I will try again
Yeah.
right
You
now.
just-
And
Yep.
she throws like lemons at him. We'll squeeze those.
Gladly. Look at
Thank
these
you.
guns. They're designed for squeezing. And he just starts like squeezes one and then realizes he doesn't have a bowl to squeeze it into. And he's like, oh shit. And goes to get a bowl.
Just lemon juice all over this man.
Now he's
abs, his forearms are glistening in lemon juice.
It's his hands because he was just squeezing with these. Like, oh no. God, it smells good, huh? And he goes and just gets a bowl and just starts like chopping, squeezing, chopping, squeezing. And he was right, like his arms do look good when he's designed for squeezing.
For forearm girlies, this is great.
Oh yeah.
For forearm girlies, that's a legit thing. There's an entire sub on Reddit for it.
Yeah. Like, ooh, look at those veins. Yeah. So he's he's busy. He's happy to help for sure. Cutting and squeezing them lemons. He's happy to help.
She'll try again. At this point, she's taking her shawl off though because she's a little warm. So
kitchens are warm. Yeah. He's like,
her
see,
nipples are
now
definitely not out.
Yeah. Also, hi Raiders. You tuned in just in time for a person with a lot of anxiety doing baking and a himbo making their life better? Question mark? Who knows?
I don't know. Like, listen, there were 2 boys in this kitchen with her trying to be kind of nice. What is happening today? One of them said there was a ghost. That's freaking terrifying.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. But he will squeeze away. Seems happy to serve. Service bottom confirmed? Question mark? Who knows? He's quite happy. Do what you do. It doesn't matter if he had something he was meant to do because he has forgotten any orders he was given for the day. He had his bacon roll. He's had his breakfast number 2, and now he's squeezing lemons to help.
Now he's squeezing lemons.
Yeah. When life
I wonder how Craig feels about this other man squeezing lemons in my breast.
Yeah, Craig, because he's covered up very anxious. He might be sitting feeling very self-conscious that he does not have like beautifully tanned, muscly forearm strength to be squeezing lemons. You can just see him in the corner somewhere looking at you all like
It's like it's a lemon party now. Let's go.
Yeah. Very much so. For the flavor of tying in our first scene partner before we wrap into break, Genevieve, if you passed the kitchen at all, you were able to smell initially what smelled like bacon and then very strongly the smell of lemon, which is an unusual combination of smells.
I think she's with Oscar and she's just like, oh no, say let's sail and bake again. She's trying really hard. I'm actually very proud of her, but I am a little scared. Let's just go. Don't worry, Oscar and fast. Because she definitely
like one had a strawberry rhubarb pie like 6 weeks ago.
And the thing is, like, I think Genevieve definitely encourages Theowen to like learn and explore, and is just like, oh, you've got this, you're doing so wonderful, but we'll also run. Like, you're doing quite bye. Like, I've got so many things to do.
And every time Torin runs away, Theo just looks over at like Craig or whoever else is there, and she's like, she's afraid of me. I'll become a demon one of these days and eat her. But that's understandable. You should also run as fast as you can too.
Craig is just like, I would never. I trained a little bit briefly. I had like whole months of training of like how to help if somebody was to be affected by demons. So I could definitely help you.
Yeah, Genevieve definitely gossips about both of them, just for the record, in a nice, loving, like older sister way. But it's just like, oh Lord.
Cool.
I will keep you safe from that. It's okay. You know the training. You just have to like calm, centering breaths, right? Breathing exercises and control your emotions. Yeah, imagine the square. I don't know why it's a square, but like you breathe in a square with lemons. Yeah. baked goods. Just imagine like baked goods just around you.
And bacon nipples.
Bacon nipples. That's not. I wouldn't. That doesn't sound like. I don't know. I mean, okay, sure. Square breathing and
Sometimes she
bacon
doesn't
nipples.
realize that her inside thoughts are outside thoughts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she just, what? Why are you? What?
Yeah. What?
Are you
I
okay?
just said, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just. I wasn't expecting you to say bacon nipples about like for
I didn't
square
say
breathing
bacon
and control.
nipples. Wait,
You
did I
did-
say bacon
you-
nipples out loud? Are you reading my
Yeah.
mind? Are you?
No, I can't read my. I have no. That is not something I can do. I feel like if I could, that would make my life really awful. Why would anyone want to read minds?
See, they're lying to them.
Oh, sure, but like, if somebody was thinking really horrible things about you, you would know.
Well, then that means you would avoid them if people are thinking horrible things about you. You're like, oh, I see how you really feel. Like, and leave.
Probably.
I wonder
Yeah.
what he's thinking right now. And I point to the lemon squeezer in the back. You think
And,
he thinks about
you know,
anything?
I would say that as you try to focus, you attempt go roll me a magic roll just for the sake of it.
I do have like I am the vibe checker.
You are the vibe check. You know what? You're not wrong. You have vibe check. Okay.
I have vibe check. I'm really good at the
um,
vibe check. Yeah.
Yes, as a spirit mage, you do in fact have the ability, if you focus in quite your own thoughts, to get a general one word.
Yeah.
I would say the main emotion that you get from lemon squeezing Iwan is content. He seems like a happy little guy.
It's just
And
oh.
that's all. So like you're like, I'm gonna try and read thoughts, and you're like, I can't read anything. Does that mean he's not thinking anything, or does that mean I can't read thoughts?
Hey, you know what? I'm very glad because reading thoughts is a really good way to like open up your mind to things that shouldn't exist or that do exist but shouldn't be in your mind.
Mhm.
But his body language says he's content. She's like, oh, it must be nice to just be
Completely devoid of anxiety. Yeah, that would be nice. I guess that would be just to be like happy all the time. Like I can't relate.
Are you not happy? Are you sad? Are you upset?
Oh no, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm a little. I mean, you know, with the news and with Templars just being like free to do whatever they want now, I'm definitely feeling super cool about abandoning them recently. I'm not worried about that at all.
Luckily, I think you're starting to grow in your mustache, so no one would recognize you.
Yeah, my hair is growing out a bit.
Yes, and you have a mustache.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But just in the corners. What if you grew them out like really, really long and then you twisted them like the Juventus people do?
Do you think that would suit me?
Well, if it doesn't, you could just shave it. Hair grows back.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. It might take a while. This took a while. Okay.
Well, that's okay. It like from what I've seen, hair just grow like it takes a while sometimes.
Yep.
And, you could just be a late bloomer like me.
I'm blooming right when I need to.
Oh, okay. And like meanwhile, like a 15-year-old walks by with a full beard, like for comedic effect. Yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
All right, second attempt. Let's do this.
Okay, I can help.
Okay.
He says as you both go in for your second attempt.
Lemon nipples,
close us
let's
out for the first
go.
tap. Can you lemon nipples? Can you give me one last roll for this baking attempt?
This is a cutting again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's...
I'm going to let you roll twice and take the highest because in theory you
Okay.
should be learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Oh no, I don't
it was
see it.
quite literally the exact same.
They're oh my god.
Down to the dice.
The
4,
first
1, and
one's
a
a
3.
13 though. The first one's a 13. So
Is it what? No, they're
oh,
both
or did I
10s.
just there we go.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a 10.
Yeah. You know what? But it is
It's
better.
better than last
It's-
time.
It started to cook. The edges did not burn this time.
Okay.
Yep. You know what?
We have made progress.
Yes. All progress is progress.
I have a lot of stuff underneath my nails though, so I think I'm done. I think we can eat this one.
Okay.
But wait. I'm gonna need you in my life. So do you want to try it? As I look over at the lemon squeezer. I don't know his name still. Did you help?
I
so
tell you
much.
again, but I feel like it's relatable that we don't know his name now. He's like, yeah, I'll eat it. I'll eat anything. Hell
Okay,
yeah.
and
He'll
just
chicken.
just like waits with anticipation, like
It's chewy.
okay.
Is it meant to be chewy?
I don't know.
It's great.
Do you like it chewy?
It's really lemony.
Okay, well, what is more prominent, the chewiness or the lemoniness?
They're both really strong.
Okay. Oh, you forgot to put the powdered sugar on it. That's why.
Maybe that's what it is.
yeah.
Just like
Like
grinding
taps it out of the sieve. Okay. Now, how does it taste?
And you like cough a little bit and some powdered sugar like pops out of his mouth. Lemony and sugary. It's great. Well, I'm gonna have such a sugar high. This is gonna be great. Do you mind if I take this? He'll walk off with the dish.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was okay. Just watches him leave.
I'll roll a con save for him later. And on that delightful revelation, with 2 of our introductions done, 2 of our introductions to go, we're gonna take a quick break, everyone. Go have yourself some bacon or lemon squares.
Both.
Bacon lemon squares.
Hydrate, regardless of which you choose.
Yeah.
We will see you back here in about 5-10 minutes, everyone. Do stretch and hydrate and get yourselves back here right after. We will see you soon.
Okay.
Wave, everybody. you're back. We hope you were well rested. We all had to go and get snacks after all that talk of food and bacon and lemon slices and himbos.
Mhm.
I had to go get one of
Yeah.
each.
Yeah.
Well, we had to go get water because of the hembo. But
Yes, everyone got a little thirsty, so you know. Welcome back though, everybody. We are here with our game All Templars Are Bastards, a Dragon Age role-playing game. And we have been introducing ourselves to the organization. The Choir of the Silenced is who they work for, although they themselves have their own little name. They are the Chains of Revenge, which sounds metal as fuck. We have met two so far. Genevieve, our Orlesian exile, who is the token rogue in the party. The rest are all mages. It's an oops all mage almost kind of campaign. We then met Theowen, our nervous little bean from the alienage, who was just trying really hard to make lemon squares, and it definitely all went perfectly okay. Has she poisoned one of our himbos? Who knows? I guess we'll find out in like 4 to 6 hours. We are going to pan our camera in to the next two members of our organization, with our fifth one starting next week. She's off busy gallivanting, doing other things. And so where we are panning into now is the library of our little home base. So as we come into this room and focus in on Floor, what does this room look like? How well stocked is this library? Is there a shh, you must be silent sign? And what do we see when we look at Floor?
I don't think there's the like shush silent,
Mm.
but the library is probably pretty tucked away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how tall the building is, but it's probably like on one of the taller floors. I think there's probably some like really big windows that normally would let like natural light in. They've all been drawn. The room itself is pretty dark. Uh, I think there's definitely more bookcases than there are books.
Mhm. Yeah.
But they do pretty well for themselves. Uh, some of this has maybe not been attained through the most traditional methods, especially after like the circles started falling.
Yeah, definitely. Managing to acquire things from places before they got destroyed. Yeah.
But it's not like a big grand library or anything. It's large enough for the shelves and maybe like 2-3 tables, a
Mhm.
few like sitting chairs for those that prefer that. The camera focuses in on Floor, who is maybe on like the slightly taller side of average for a human.
Mhm.
So probably like 5'10", but maybe 5'11". Um, wearing darker clothes, pretty overall unassuming, straight, kind of like pale straw blonde hair that's kind of like veiled over their face right now because they are
Mhm.
leaning over a book on the table. Um, pale gray eyes, pretty pale, not just like out of skin complexion,
Mhm.
but also they probably haven't seen like a lot of the sun.
Indoor kid vibes.
Very much indoor kid vibes.
Mhm.
Um, they have probably been holed up in the library since before dawn. One hand tracing over like a book that's an ancient Tavine, like one of the
Mhm.
few the library has managed to get a hold of. The other trying to like trace over something on a different page. Looks vaguely like runic, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say maybe they're trying to inscribe a spell,
Okay.
something that it didn't go wrong. It did not go wrong, but it used way too much of their energy, and they are trying to get this right. Because if they don't get this right, it's probably going to mean death for someone, and
Yeah.
they specialize in death, but they prefer it to be under their own hands.
Yeah. Definitely. So you're taking the time to perfect the things that need to safeguard other attempts at this. If you can, I would like you to do an arcane lore roll for me. So if you head to your sheet under cunning, you can see the word arcane lore. Just click on that word right there, and it should roll for you. Nice. So we have a 12 with a 3-point stunt. It's I think this one clearly has a level of complexity that you're just struggling to get into your head right now. It's an area of study, and sometimes when you've been at something for much too long, it starts to create a muddled thought effect. It makes it harder to keep going and persevering. And and you were trained to know that, stepping away, taking breaks, doing something to clear the mind of what you were doing to then come back to it is the sensible option. And yet, when you're so driven to keep things perfect and safe for other people, that drive can sometimes push you past where you really should be stopping to give yourself some time.
Especially when you're here with the chains, with the choir, for probably purpose for your utility. And a
Yeah.
lot of people look at you already really wrong. And so you have to make this perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's perhaps just that frustration which you maybe don't realize is reading all over your face, perhaps even in noises of frustration at yourself, that you don't notice that someone has entered the library and kind of slowly wandered over to where you are, a head tilting, almost just too late, as he is already beside where you are sat. You become aware of a presence. Um, Also fairly tall, is just shy of 6 foot. He's got a kind of lean build to him. The shoulders are broad, but it's got that more, I guess, swimmer bod rather than big muscle bod, like broad of shoulder, but sleek, built for agility rather than strength. Sharply dressed as always, typically in blacks and deep reds, occasionally some navies, if he's feeling fancy, adorned with some pieces of jewelry that harken back to what had been home for him, and indeed home for you. Short cropped hair, slicked back, and he's got a fair complexion that, in a way, where you're from might have denoted somebody who is from nobility, because Tevinter strikes me as the sort, much like other places, where the paler you are, the less menial outdoor tasks you had to perform, and it can be a sign of wealth at times. And you maybe know enough to know that that was not the case for him. That was not the life he led, and the scars that he carries, a couple on his face, some on his arms, a lot of the times hidden. And there's these coal steel gray colored eyes with a slight hint of green to them as he tilts his head and looks down at what you are tracing. You know this to be Harry Rhoda, who is also escapee, I guess. Somebody who managed to free themselves of the shackles of Tevinter and found themselves here in the free marches. And he makes a thoughtful little noise. You're not trying to summon demons, are you?
For a second, they blink, and I think for just a split moment, the room was a lot grander, and there was a very different figure next to them, and it's clearly sleep deprivation or something, and it melts back. And do I even want to know what you're doing here?
Well, I came here to read. This is a library, after all. Although, I don't think I could read the things that you are. Can I join you?
I don't think that I have any more of a right to say no than yes. If you must, you can be quiet about it.
I apologize if I have disturbed you. It looks like you could take a break. You don't want to push yourself too hard. That doesn't often end well for mages.
Worried about demons, then?
No, just the page you're looking at looked a little sinister, but I don't know enough about it to really say with any accuracy.
Glancing back at the page, they say nothing because they know exactly what spell they're looking at.
Yeah. He's technically not wrong. It may be considered sinister to some if you don't have a refined magical palette.
I need to get this right.
What is the spell?
The reason that I'm in here alone and something that people don't prefer when I do. So do you really want to know?
I have a strong constitution for these kinds of things. I am fairly sure I'll have seen worse. I don't mean that to be dismissive of what you do, but I think you are quite aware of where I have also come from. The sorts of things that are done there.
It's the kind of thing that will keep the people I need to keep alive, and the people I don't, well,
Unalive.
have a sword as long as they can be useful.
Oh. Repurposing.
Energy has to go somewhere. When something's dead, might as well borrow it. When something's almost dead, put it to better use.
Entropy, right?
Essentially.
I can see why some people may find such things a little disturbing.
And you? trying to fish out weaknesses for when the mages go mad.
No. If I had a problem working alongside mages, I wouldn't be here with the choir. I understand the power in what you all do. I know there's a risk, of course. And I've seen what that can do. I've watched mages who take the power that they have and turn it to dark purpose. But it's like anything. Mage with a spell and a person with a knife. It's what you do with it that counts, right?
The intent, yes, but I'm sure plenty of people here already talk about me in the shadows, even when I am keeping them alive. Acts like I'm walking death.
Is that not the vibe you're going for? That's a pretty metal name, I'm not gonna lie. Walking Death.
I mean, when people don't disturb me when I am very clearly busy, I do try to be personable. And being treated like a reaper is not exactly what people think of as personable, but we all have our affinities, and mine happen to be the other side of the coin.
Well, I think what you're doing is admirable. It took me a long time to make peace with mages in my life after the experiences that I've had. I didn't get to see the good side. But I've learned. There are times where things might remind me a little of darker shadows. But I think the work that we do here speaks for itself. I haven't spoken to any of you, those of you that are magically inclined, about the turn of events recently. Templars who are unshackled. It's a little troubling, no?
To me, this is all a little troubling. It's not exactly what I'm used to, and I'm still very much new to how Kirkwall and the rest of this country, kingdom operate. And I find it I'm not sure how to find it.
They do things rather differently here. than what we are used to. I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
Some of it is. Some of it isn't. And I'm still trying to learn which is which.
Well, I know that we're going to have to do our bit to keep everyone within the organization safe. Especially if mages start being hunted.
They already are, though, aren't they?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But the facade of this all being for the greater good, for the good of the mages, that they just need to be kept safe from all of the risks that are inherent in what they are. That facade has been lifted. I don't doubt there may be some who still believe that, but I'm not sure there were ever very many who felt that way deep down.
I think the only ones trying to fool themselves of that were the ones trying to enact the control. We always heard tales of what mages dealt with outside of the Empire and the Imperium, and that was used to control us inside, too. And
yes, it wasn't very easy living there as somebody who did not have magic. But, you know, the purpose they trained me for there, I am able to turn that to noble purpose here. Fight for the same cause that you do. In my own way.
I do truly hope so. There's only one way out of this war, and I'd prefer to stay alive.
Well, with someone talented in the arts that you are, I'd like to think you have a head start with that. Again, I'm not entirely sure how that works. I'm sure I could learn. Just the name of it is something that is meant to send chills down the spine, isn't it? Necromancy.
Send chills down spine, send children running. Leave this library blissfully empty until now.
Well, I won't disturb you anymore, but hopefully the little brain break will make your reading a little easier. You could always crack a window, I suppose, get some fresh air. I hear it's rather nice outside today.
Maybe. I'll eat at least.
I'm heading down into Darktown to acquire a few things for us. Is there anything that you need? It's a very different kind of shopping to the marketplace of Kirkwall.
Not that I don't trust you, which, to be fair, I only kind of maybe do. As much as anyone can trust anyone in here. I do prefer to source my own ingredients for what I need.
Understood. Well, as quartermaster for the organization, if you ever decide to change your pattern of acquisition, you need only ask. It is quite literally my job.
I will keep that in mind, and maybe I will accompany you into Darktown. After all, who knows what I'll get up to traipsing around down there.
Well, you'll get a little bit of exercise at the very least, and just very aromatic down there, and I'm sure a necromancer will feel right at home.
Just because I deal in death and undeath does not mean that I appreciate everything it has to offer.
I'm sure. I was but teasing, and he will stand up and give a little bow. Well, shall we go and get some fresh air?
Fine.
I'm gonna have to get a different coat. I look entirely too winter in this, and I suppose rightfully so. The people in Darktown of Kirkwall get a little eye twitchy at the sight of us.
Everyone gets a little eye twitchy at me.
Yep. Well, I'll try not to be.
Just roll up the parchment that they're working on and probably stick it in like a random pocket and put the book back on the shelf, notating where they've waylaid it for the moment.
Yep. And you're able to head out and do a little bit of shall we call it shopping? Acquisitions in Darktown. Do you think there's anything in particular you'd have been looking for?
This in a even way, they'd probably be looking for poppets or something that they can test on without actually testing on living things.
The beauty of Darktown is you can find anything that you want down there. Because we have the beautiful high town of Kirkwall, where all of the people with some wealth and notoriety get to exist. There's Low Town for the lower classes and the people who work at the docks, and then there's Dark Town for the people below that. And in recent years, it's still very much occupied by people who are refugees that fled Ferelden during the Blight. There are people who are hard on their luck, and a lot of people actually who were displaced after the explosion of the Chantry. There was a lot of destruction in the area, and so some people whose building maybe got removed by Andra's efforts have found some sanctuary down there. But you're able to acquire the things that you need and just see the people who are existing there. There's definitely a heightened sense of being on edge more than normal, especially after this Navarna cord being removed. It means that any who would have reason for having a fear of the Templars or the Seekers of Truth, just a little more nervous than normal. But you're able to acquire things. Eventually you can head back up to our little safe house, our base of operations. Perhaps as you do so, our camera will pan off of you and in through a separate window go through a couple rooms. There's maybe two people who are sparring, but it's just kind of turned into wrestling, with some, laughter. And as a callback to other games I've run, they're like grabbing onto like the waistbands of the trousers to like flip them. Um, and
Definitely
it
not
goes
a
past.
bedroom or anything.
No, it's definitely not better. Don't worry about it. What? And after they flip the oof, some laughter afterwards, we pan past that and into a central area that is a courtyard where we have a garden within our base of operations, of which there are some areas that are perhaps cultivated with purpose. There's like a vegetable garden, and a section with climbing fruits, and those big like planter things with like just various things that are able to grow as spring is starting to sprung. And we pan to the base of a tree. For amusement, I would like to think that we see something falling out of the tree, just something small. And as we go up to see where that came from, we're going to find Aviana. Um, First of all, what small thing might have you dropped out of this tree? Second of all, do you want to describe the rest of the garden to us? And lastly, what do we see when we pan into Aviana?
Yeah, so I think as like we've had some time in this area, so this courtyard is um we're not quite yet at the fairy garden level. We're like at intermediate, where like you can see the beginnings of different flowers growing. There's nice little pathways that have been made. There's definitely some improvement, but it's definitely you can tell that the different people that have like worked here have put a lot of heart and soul into it. Whether there needed to be planters that were freshly built, where they found
Mm-hmm.
scraps of wood and things like that. Everything looks like people cared about it, worked on it, and made it their own. So brightly colored, uh, beautiful flowers, different designs that are painted on the different flower boxes and planters. But what fell out of the tree, I think she was reading a book and starting to doze off as she was in the
Mm-hmm.
treetop. And I think the book just kind of fell out of her hands as she just kind of just started to fall asleep for a moment. Uh, Probably would jolt herself right back up though, and then as it thunked on the ground, the camera kind of comes up and you see Aviana Bryland. She is a rather petite woman. She's got long red hair that is kind of up in a low bun. She's wearing a navy color dress with like red off the shoulder sleeves. Uh, all of her clothing looks very elegant. She wears a onyx necklace that has different beadings, and um, hidden within the dress is a talisman that is kind of out of sight. And she always is wearing a garnet ring on her finger that is
Mm-hmm.
very intricate. If you would look a little closely, it looks a little bit sharp though, so you have to be a little bit careful about the edges. But
Mm-hmm.
very intricately detailed. Um, and I think she just kind of like stretches as she looks out over the city, just up above high. She's rather
Mm-hmm.
short, so it's nice to actually see above things for once.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you you can see, I mean, this fresh day we're talking about, it is definitely feeling a lot brighter now than it has in the past couple of months. And the garden is starting to see the benefit of things just being, when everything's just poised and ready to bloom. So your early spring flowers are ready to go. There's a few things there that are sturdy enough to survive through a winter. There's probably an area that is sheltered enough to kind of have greenhouse effect in a way, for things that they need to rely on all year round. And then these trees, of which one of them is a lemon tree that is suspiciously bereft of lemons. Um, but you're able to get that view and then see the jump you may have to make to get back down off this tree, or you can try and climb down nimbly. It is up to you how you tend to approach this sort of thing. But your nap, that slight dozing off, has kind of shook you back again, and perhaps just that slight threat of, oh, I could have just fallen out of this tree there, has woken you up a bit more fully, and you're feeling a bit more yourself.
So I'm going to preface this as she's going to attempt to be nimble. Whether that is successful or not, which probably isn't with she has some grace, but it isn't she's not the most dexterous or strong individual,
Yeah.
so
Well, she is beauty, she is grace. Let's hope she don't fall on her face. Can you roll me a dexterity roll, please?
absolutely. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? Beauty and grace is correct. 15 with 6 stunt points. Yes, you are able to get yourself down and off this tree with some practice nimbleness. You have to be very aware of your body and what it is doing at all times, which helps you kind of preempt the things that you should be doing to take care on the way down so that you're not being careless. And you do manage to touch down with the slightest of little jumps, not enough to put you in any kind of risk. And you get that little floof of your skirt as you land, and it all kind of settles out around you. But you are down now and able to pick up that book back off the ground. And as you do so, there's not too many people in the garden at the moment. There had been earlier on a couple people in the little section where the training is happening, and there was some giggling and talk of magic silence before they vanished off to do other things. So you're currently alone in this garden. Where do you think you would be heading next now that you have a day free currently? There are no specific duties you're having to see to.
I would probably, after picking some of the flowers that can be for different medicinal purposes,
Mm-hmm.
I would be heading to the room that we've designated as like our little hospital bay, our little healers area.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It has to be fit for purpose for the type of group that you are, the things that you do. So as you kind of step in through the door, this is a part of this base of operations that you're quite familiar with. So how would you say it is equipped? What does it look like?
So I think like for it being probably what was either like a office or a bedroom.
Yeah.
We've changed it up pretty nicely. We've got a few different cots lined up, and then a bunch of these different shelving units with tinctures and little wooden boxes filled with different cloth for wrapping wounds. There's a splinting station that specifically has Aviana's name on it, and
Mhm.
a just a they've been able to stock it up pretty nicely. Luckily, we haven't had too many run-ins where we've needed to use the supplies, which has been nice because that meant we've been able to stockpile somewhat. But I think that it's always in the back of Aviana's mind to be overly prepared because you never know when things are going to go wrong. So she's constantly like, if we have the supplies to make a herbal tincture that would help with different injuries, she's going to make it so it's on hand. So I think that's
Mhm.
what she would be going about starting today to try and
Yeah,
catch up on it.
sure. Yeah, as you head in, you can see that there's two people there currently. One seemed to have been picking up something, the other perhaps is just in not terribly far ahead of you. You see Nadia Verin, who is one of the assassins of the organization. She is about 5'7", has jet black hair that seems to fade into an ombre of grey towards the end, which is perhaps a style choice, as grey normally happens near the top of your head. Even on her off days, she is wearing black leathers. There are multiple straps, gloves with various little things hidden in them, and small, tiny little blades that she can use when she needs to. A red sash always worn around her middle, and she has quite captivating amber eyes that kind of stand out with the pale skin that she has. And she'll give you a nod of familiarity. As she kind of passes and makes a comment to the person who is there currently. So as she leaves you, you head inside, and not at one of the tables where things are made up, but instead at a section where there are various tinctures and poultices and potions already set there, and kind of like rummaging around and reading things and picking things up is Reagan. Reagan Porter is Kirkwall native. He's kind of been with this group since its inception. So depending on when you joined, you may have joined at the same time when it started. You may have come in a little later, in which case he's kind of always been here. And he is 5'6", which would be short for a human, but those of you who are in the know are aware that he is elf-blooded, which in this world, if a human and an elf have a baby, they will almost always just come out human, but there's often little physical markers for some of them that let you know about their true heritage. He has what would have been slightly pointed ears, although one has a big scar that kind of has almost bisected the ear in a way. Various other scars. He's got blonde hair and that sort of like dirty blonde to brown shaggy beard. And he's wearing a fairly casual outfit. He's just got one of those like a poet shirt in a way, slightly open, just looking in a casual setting as he's rummaging a little bit. And he made his comment over the shoulder to the assassin as she left. But we'll become aware that you've kind of entered and pause what he's doing and look over at you with a smile. Nice to see you.
Do you need something?
Oh, just looking for some of the painkiller. I can't see. I mean, it's maybe just hiding. It's
No,
one of those
fine.
days.
I'll go up to like one of the shelves and kind of notice that it is farther up, so I get a stool to kind of get up to reach it,
Mm-hmm.
and I will kind of pick it up off the shelf, kind of climb down from my stool, and just here.
Oh,
I is this been working? I can change the mix if
no, it does. It works. Yeah. It's takes the edge off. I don't notice it too much when I need to be focusing on other things. It's great, honestly. You do
I
good work.
I just mean that if you notice that if your head just kind of feels fuzzy, I can change ingredients or make it last longer. Just I'm always looking to improve. So
Yeah. I mean, there are times when when you first take it gets a little cloudy up there at first, but I push through it. If you think there's something that could remove that, I guess, when you're needed. I'm used to making things that do the opposite of what you do. And you know that he is, for this group, the poison expert. He did an awful lot of studying on poisons and also antidotes to said poisons. But the healing arts are not his forte.
I mean, it's just I think it kind of builds on each other. And she'll kind of like lean against the cabinet and just say, you know, you add an extra leaf to a medication, it becomes a poison. You take that leaf out and it heals.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It's all about balance.
Yeah. Here, let me try something.
Okay.
I kind of will go over to like one of the tables, make sure my back is turned,
Mm-hmm.
use my ring, to like stab myself a little bit with it,
Yeah.
and kind of use. I'd like to kind of. It's not necessarily a spell in the spell book, but to kind of. I've used my blood magic to help me during times of pain with medications that would make my head fuzzy
Mm-hmm.
to make it clearer. I want to see if I can kind of replicate that effect.
Ooh. Sure. Let's mess around and find out. I would say, yeah, roll with your blood magic focus. Do a magic roll that kind of tapping into something a little more hidden, a little forbidden for most. Oh, an 18. Yeah, that's a pretty incredible roll. You use your ring and the sharp edges dig into familiar crevices. It taps into your magic. You know that it is where you draw your power from, and it taps into something that in your mind and is the case. It's a hereditary mastery of this art, and it's like asking that which is within you, quite literally, to pull from the fade and adapt that which is in front of you. Um, and it does it augments slightly what you're trying to do. It's like it's infusing it with an essence from beyond the veil, um, to replicate that which you do for yourself in this potion for Reagan. Now he doesn't. He's got no magic himself. He does not feel when things affect the veil or just the magical essence of the air around you. So he's not going to notice that there's anything happening or anything wrong. He's occupying himself with other things while you are doing this. But you are able to be quite successful in what you are trying to do.
I will grab a handkerchief from my pocket, put my hand in my pocket,
Mm-hmm.
to blot the wound and hand the potion over to
Mm-hmm.
say, "Let me know if this helps."
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. I will
No problem.
report back. How are you keeping?
I didn't fall out of the tree, so I think that's an improvement.
Did you think you were going to?
Well, there was a bit of a close call, and it ended up being a book instead of me, so I would call that a success.
Preferable. Yeah.
I would rather not be carried back here again. So, thank you, by the
Well,
way.
anytime you need carrying anywhere, you just let me know. I'm surprisingly strong for my short stature.
There is a flush to the face, but she's just going to kind of like I don't know how to react that moment of then just saying, well, that is you are rather tall for someone like me. So, uh,
It's all relative, I suppose.
yeah. Um. Anyway, anything new? Have you heard of anything going on out?
Well, there's definitely a bit of a buzz going on. I did go out into town yesterday, and there's things are difficult in the city when it comes to news that relates to Templars or mages, given the history of this place.
Yeah.
Um, I can understand why people are a little triggered by it. And so the things that have started to happen, the Templars doing what they've done. I think there's a lot of anxiety around the place. Um, I'm hoping there's a way that we can help.
Me too.
I don't know how we can help, but yeah.
Honestly, I think at this point, just existing and being an option.
I have to make sure to keep you safe. Don't let them come in and try to round you up.
That's a little bit difficult, but thank you.
Well,
I should probably get back to work and things. And she will kind of like accidentally dust off like a few leaves that were stuck in her dress.
yeah. Oh, and he'll just kind of reach up and take one out of your hair as well.
Thanks.
I mean, maybe that was the look you were going for.
Oh,
but...
I didn't know it was even there, honestly. I did fall asleep in the tree.
Sleeping in trees will do that to you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess more potions to make. She will
Right.
kind of stumble as she is trying to not know how to say goodbye.
Mhm.
But will go and trip over her own feet and try and get back to what she was doing.
Yeah. He'll smirk a little as you fumble with that and will gather up the things that he was doing. Attach a few vials of things to it's like a holster that he wears. And will give you a little wave as he heads out. Have a good day.
She kind of waves back. Good luck.
Yeah. And he'll head off, running a hand through his hair, kind of alleviating the headache that he carries a lot. And we'll go about his business. I'll leave you to it to kind of take a moment to just be like, right, potions, yeah.
Yeah, she fully is just like, good luck. What was good luck? Why did I say that? Just like under her breath, just as she's like mixing the things together.
Yeah.
You read all these books, lines out of books, like, and she will just continue creating whatever's needed.
Incredible. Okay. So, your days. So I just sent you happy birthday, you too. Yeah, I love when if you've ever like gotten out of a bus or a taxi and you say "see you later" and you're just like, "Later, I may never see you again." Why am I saying this? um, yes. So, the rest of you are going about your day, either reading or gathering supplies, baking, training, doing your thing. Eventually, you all will get notice that Shona, who you know to be the head of this organization, she doesn't necessarily like the term leader because she likes to think this is a bit more democratic and that we're all here for the same purpose. Sometimes she will sarcastically call herself the kitten herder as a title. But you know that she is looking for you all to go and meet with her. She has an office of sorts where she tends to do her work, and it's a place where people can go and coordinate. There's likely a large desk in that space where you can kind of put down things if you need to do anything that is like strategy wise or looking at maps. But it's where she is often situated. I will see who decides that they're going to be arriving first. But in the room, before any of you arrive, you can see this woman who is petite, but she's one of those petite women that carries a lot of oomph behind her. She has red hair, side shaved on one side with some scarring on it. She too, much like Ray, actually has ever so slightly pointed ears, which hints to elf-blooded heritage, and these amber brown eyes. Currently, she is standing looking over a few letters as she awaits the arrival of you all. So, who do you think, upon hearing that a meeting is had and that you are needed, would be arriving the most prompt?
Oh, not me.
I don't know if Genevieve would be able to resist showing up slightly late.
Slightly late.
Slightly.
Okay.
No, just slightly late.
Mhm.
Not like in a show of force, but in the Orlesian, like, make sure everyone sees you.
Yes, you have to make an entrance.
You do.
Yeah. Being
Not
on
that too
time means I
flashy.
have to be like 10 minutes late.
We've all just been waiting for Genevieve.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. So sad.
So you guys can kind of pour in the order that you fancy. Theowyn being, I guess, second to last. So maybe
Yeah, like she has no idea. She goes, oh no, why am I going to this? No, why am I being summoned? Why are there multiple people? Why are there mages? What's going on? Is it the end?
I think if Genevieve sees the chaos that's happening, obviously going on right now, and the
Yeah.
anxiety, just Theowyn, it's going to be okay. Just please.
Sorry, you're right. It's gonna be fine. Because if I am not calm and collected and cool and together, I will destroy us all. So we're gonna go and
You can almost hear Craig telling you to breathe the square. But then it makes you think of lemon nipples and you're like, I don't know why my intrusive thoughts are doing this to me.
Okay. And then she's just going to push her in. Just very gently. Not hard. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
We've all
So
been
for
for you.
Flor
Hey,
and
everyone.
Mary, who would have been here first, do you think?
Depends on how Aviana, if she's the on time type or not.
Yeah, Aviana is chronically late, I think. More so is that she gets lost in what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, oh crap, I need to run to the other side of this place. Then, like, accidentally runs into things, takes too long, and is like limping as she comes into the room.
So it is possible to both be a mage and have ADHD. Confirmed. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a requirement.
Yeah.
So I guess that also would probably make Floor first, even though they are probably like dragging themselves in and
Mhm.
not only have to escape Hari, who is being far too nice to them today. And
Yeah. I have had enough of Demeter people for one lifetime. Goodbye.
Enough of today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can head off. Hari will have wished you luck with whatever it is you're being called in for. With Aviana, a swift second, and then eventually a very nervous Theowyn being coached to calmness by
She's
Genevieve.
just gently guided inside. Hi guys. I'm gonna go over there. Just go stand in the
there's a
corner.
bit of a deep breath, just like it's still like proper and everything, just okay. And then the hands fold. Like right.
And you can see that Shona is has the patience on both her face and body language of someone who has earned the title kitten herder. And waits for you all to kind of get in and settle and seated if you're sitting. Well, nice of you all to join us.
Hello, Shona. What can we help you with?
Well, I have a task that I'd like to think is perfectly suited to you all. I do expect that Matty will be joining us as well, but she's busy doing something else for me right now. She will be joining us shortly. I have already briefed her of the task. Are we all comfortable? And she'll make point like it's a question asked to the whole group, but the eyes will definitely settle on Theowen.
No. But I'm never comfortable. It's not your fault.
All right. Well, you are not here because you're in trouble. Nothing in this room is
Okay.
dangerous to you. We're just talking.
See, I told you, you'll be fine.
Okay. I'll be fine.
I will gently pass a potion to Theowen.
Essence of elf fruit.
Sorry, I don't drink.
It's not alcohol, dear. It's calming.
I don't like to consume elf fruit either. I like to see when I'm anxious and nervous. I know that all of my wits are about me. Thank
Theowen,
you. Yes.
sit down.
No, I'm gonna shake the chair. Can I just please stay standing up? Why is everyone just ignore me? Oh my god! Goodness!
Bringing
just-
more attention to
hi!
yourself
Hi,
standing
leader!
there.
Hi. Hello. Please just turn around and don't look at me. Look eyes
I don't-
forward.
Okay,
Oh.
and Theowen can not have this if she wants, but I think Genevieve will take like her drape cloak off and just like put it over your head. just a little bit. Just block out a little bit.
Like covering
Like
the
a
cage
bird?
of a bird. Yeah.
Zayfa, no one can see you. You're fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, why don't we turn our attention to other things then? I have a mission that I feel you all would be perfectly suited for.
Sounds exciting.
Yes. I trust all of you are aware of the shift in the politics and power structures around us recently.
Maybe not.
New one of a day.
Mm-hmm. The Navarro Accord was something that was crucial in keeping those with, quite honestly, too much power in check. Leashing the dog, if you will. Unfortunately, that has been let loose, which is unpleasant for most of us and downright dangerous for people like yourselves. Apart from you, Genevieve, but you know.
Everything is dangerous for me.
You are Elysian. I am sure everything is perceived as a danger. Yes. Well, conflict is coming. Some have called it a war, but I do not believe it is a war when one side is armored and the other side is simply fighting to survive. And, well, we've been approached by a group who are trying to find a place of safety to situate themselves, gather those who need it, defend where they are, and they would like us to acquire something for them that will assist them in this. As I'm sure you are all aware, being able to partake of lyrium potions is vital to a mage's ability to remain strong and fight for long times, protect people, heal, everything it is that you wonderful people do. And it is in short supply, as it always is, and the market is often controlled by, well, the Chantry are the ones who control it most of the time. But there are ways of securing it elsewhere. However, what they need is something a little more substantial than simply a small crate, which is the sort of job we may have been doing to secure for people. This is large scale. I trust you will be capable. I hope that you will be smart in how you approach this. They are looking for quite a sizable shipment, of which, by the way, I do recommend taking a ship. You see, in order to get that amount, not only to acquire said lyrium, but to ensure that the lyrium is not in the hands of the other group of people who like to use lyrium to empower themselves, the Templars. I would like you all to try and, well, I suppose this job might be described as a heist.
My favorite. She gets like a little giddy, like shake.
Now, there are many places where these Templars may be congregating, many of which are highly defended and, quite frankly, ridiculously dangerous for a small infiltration group such as you are, such as we provide. However, there is one relatively nearby that I think we might have a better chance of getting into if you're up for it.
Always.
You see, I don't know how much you know about the place Wycombe. Have you heard of it before? It's further east in the Free Marches.
Would she have? I don't think
Um,
Genevieve would have. She does
no,
have trade tongue.
yeah, if any of you are, I would say free marcher natives, or if you have anything in the skills sort of section that might mean that you have an awareness geographically, it could be navigation.
I have navigation.
I would say if you roll navigation, you would have an awareness of the general geography of this area.
16 total.
Cartography.
Cartography, yes, roll for that as well. Be slightly different. Okay. With an 11, you do know where Wycombe is. So Wycombe is further east along the coast at the mouth of a pretty substantial river in the area. I will, if you just, I'll let you players have a look at a little map for those of you who are on Roll20. So the thing about Wycombe is that it's regarded as the most free of the free marches. The revelry capital of Thedas, which is really saying something when we have Antiva, we have Ravane, we have Orlais, but no, Wycombe is the party capital, apparently. So
Biggest.
Some might say that. I don't know if I would say that. That's fine.
maybe it's all down to opinion. Notable, however, it is the second greatest importer of Antivan wine after Orlais, despite the fact it has a third of the population of Val Royeaux on its own. So, a certain type of party. My hope, they have a fortress for Templars there. It is on the outskirts, not inside Wycombe itself, but I'm hoping that the Templars there have a slightly more freer approach to their security that Wycombe has. There's gonna need to be some research. You're gonna have to maybe find some contacts and plans. I would recommend boat rather than by land, but that is your call. But my gathered friends here, how do you feel about doing a lyrium heist and stealing a whole butt crap of lyrium from Templars under their noses?
Say less.
Oh, we're excited.
How do the rest of you feel?
It would be good to get out and about.
Why us?
Yes. Well, I feel that in order to succeed in jobs like this, where the odds might be a little difficult, one needs passion and drive. And I feel like who better to have the drive to really fuck over a lot of Templars than mages?
When do we have to decide?
You can discuss things and get back to me tomorrow.
Okay.
If you need help, if you would like allies, if you want to bring anyone with you, that is your call. But come back to me tomorrow after you've had a chance to discuss this. And if you're interested, I will give you further information.
I mean, some people in this group might die, but at the same time, taking it to the Templars is worth it.
My thoughts exactly. I trust you all. You're capable, you're powerful, and they will underestimate you, which is exactly what you want. Anyway, I will let you go and discuss this. Hopefully by tomorrow you will have Matty with you as well. I look forward to hearing your verdict. And she kind of stands and does that, like when you're like
It's time for everyone to leave
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
space.
I
Yeah.
think Genevieve will grab Theowen and just
Yeah.
push. Yeah, take his head
Instantly
back and just,
guide this child out of here. Like,
it will be fine. You know, I think it will be good if we all go. Please, just think about it.
So
I will keep you safe. It's fine.
as we all have mixed feelings, I imagine, things that we will need to discuss, decompress, maybe plan. There is something exciting afoot, perhaps. For now, we will wrap our first episode there, everybody. Well done. Happy premiere day. And next week we will get to planning. At dawn, we plan. This has been our premiere episode of All Templars Are Bastards. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We are going to do a little round of outros where we will let you know who we are and where you can find us on the internet before I tell you a little bit about what else to expect on the channel. And also stay tuned for a raid. As for myself, I am Emma or Hamalu on the internet. You will be finding me here for the next 10 weeks running this lovely game. You can find me on Saturdays over at Baldria's channel, running a Mass Effect game for the next 3 weeks. March 20th, you'll find me on Horde of Tales doing Women Gaming Month for its Apocalypse Keys, and I'm playing The Hungry. Great. And I will be launching a channel at the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. Lots of things. For the rest of us, if we can go in the order that we did our intros, let us know who you are and where we can find you.
Ta-da! Hello, my name is Torin. You can find me as Torin Talks Creativity or Torin Talks on most things. Twitch is probably the easiest place. As far as what I do, I am a digital artist and voice actor, so do a lot of audiobooks, do a lot of everything. And as far as things coming up, I will also be on a Horde of Tales game on the 27th, playing Allura, which I believe is space shenanigans. It'll be new to me. I'm very excited. And then I'm also in a game on Girls Run These Worlds on Fridays, which is very fun. Aerovin, and it is chaos incarnate, and it's great. So we're doing that for the next few weeks as well. I believe that's it. But yeah, again, easiest place to find me is on Twitch at Torin Talks Creativity.
hello, everyone. My name is Val. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Valdoranth. I produce TTRPG content for me and my friends over on my Twitch channel. We only have one episode left of our Old Gods of Appalachia actual play, not this Thursday, but next for our finale. So be sure to tune in for that. And of course, I do produce a Mass Effect game that Emma here runs. And then other than that, this is the only place you can find me because I'm about to go on break. So after everything's done, just gonna play games here for a little while. But yeah, that's me. Bye.
Hi guys, I am Alice. You can find me everywhere online at Alice Hart, or unless the adult film star has stolen that username from me, in which case you can find me under Hellion Hart. Let's see. Next week, you can find me on the 16th on Lost Caravan playing Pathfinder. If anyone wants to see a whole bunch of psychic damage taken at a table because of a character I'm playing, make sure to tune in. It's going to be a mess. After that, on Friday, I'm going to be over on Tales from the Table playing Cyrun for the Project Hope charity as part of their charity month going on. On the 19th, I'll be back over on Tales from the Table running Thirsty Sword Lesbians for the same charity month. I'm here every Sunday. On Saturday, Lost Caravan is running a direct-to-YouTube series called Dark Baptism. It's an Old Gods of Appalachia campaign, though we still got a few more episodes left in that. And until then, at the end of the month, I will be playing on Lost Caravan Honey Heist. Otherwise, I got a few things in the works, so make sure if you like me, check out my social media to keep up with what those things are. Yay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Kate. As far as where you can find me online, you can find me on the Hell site at Nerd on Wheels 15 and everywhere else at the Nerd on Wheels. Coming up for me Every other Monday, you can catch me on Lost Caravan, where we are playing Lancer Hell's Gate. I am playing a murder marshmallow, which is basically just a very small human that likes to blow things up. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. We've also got coming up every other Wednesday. You can catch me on Enchanting Sorcery Productions for a Fiondelver and Below, Halia's Harriers, where I'm playing a rogue cleric with a memory block. Great time there. Then you can catch me every Saturday at Nerds with Dice, where we are playing Masks the Puzzle Project, a all-disabled table where a bunch of disabled superheroes are trying to reclaim their neighborhood and stop it from being totally gentrified. And of course, you can always catch what else I've got coming up on either the Hell site, Blue Sky, any of those places.
Excellent stuff. Yes, do check out all these wonderful people. They are great players, and I feel honored to be able to run this game for them. They're great. In terms of what is going on here at the channel, we have some casting calls. So we've got Into the Black with Anya, who is wonderful. I've played with her in a Candela Obscura game that she ran. It was great. And this is going to be fantastic because it's using the Serenity system, another favorite of mine. Sign up for a nice, easy job. Sure. A simple heist and a priceless artifact. Find a ship, find a crew, and keep flying. We've got Salvage Union with Michelle, sponsored by Leyline Press. It's a mini-series of post-apocalyptic wastelands inhabited by mechs and the pilots who scramble to keep them together. That sounds like fun. We've got some upcoming shows as well. All of the times I'm mentioning are Eastern time zone, so adjust at your leisure. Mondays at 2 p.m. we've got Wonder Wet and Weary among the members of the House of Rookwood in Blood Will Out with GM Maddie. Every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. we've got Roll for Luck. Join our long-running anchor show for the Sapphic homebrew world of Algarth with Girls from These Worlds founder Ryu. She's the Dungeon Mistress. Fridays at 8 p.m. join the high fantasy, high-tech, high-flying Numenera adventure Erowin with our own Angela and also Torin, who is a player. And Sundays 3 p.m. Eastern. This us, you are here. Yes, that's us. Hi. Fantastic Dragon Age game. All Templars are bastards. We're gonna get to stick it to the people who deserve it. With me, there's your GM. So tune in next week if you like this story. It's gonna be fun. These guys are great. And that's us. We are going to be doing a raid, so please do stick around for that and give them some love in chat. We are raiding Ash, or Fitness to Cosplay, who is a player on Roll for Luck. So give them some lovies and hearts in chat. For now, that's us. Have a good night, guys.